Hello, hello. Welcome to the Maker Studio Facebook page. I'm Cheryl. I create over on the Home of My Making Facebook page where I do a lot of projects with the Maker Studio products. So come over there and join me over there. So today is day 2 of the 4-day Black Friday sale. So today, ChalkArt and gel art ink is 20% off. So this is a fabulous deal, and I want to give you some tips and tricks on how to use ChalkArt and gel art ink. So the first thing I want to tell you, there are 2 different products. Gel art ink is permanent, ChalkArt is not. So gel art ink can be used on almost any surface. It's also formulated for fabric, but you could use it on paper, you could use it on wood, you could use it on anything. ChalkArt is removable. So most of the time you want to use it where you want to redo something and wipe it off. So glass, mirror, chalkboard, that's where ChalkArt can be used. But it can also be used on wood if you wanted to seal it. So let me show you some projects using the gel art ink. So gel art ink is formulated for fabric. What you would do is you would apply the gel art ink, you would wait for it to dry overnight, and then you would heat set it to secure it into the fabric so you can wash it. But you could also use gel art ink on paper to make your own homemade cards. You could also use it on wood to make decor pieces. And here I used them on a few trivets. So that's all permanent. So ChalkArt usually gets used on something that's not permanent. So I'm going to do a couple of projects with both. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little pouch, and this is material, so I would be using the gel art ink on it. So I'm going to put a little piece of cardboard in there so that it doesn't seep through. And again, remember, today's the second day of the 4-day Black Friday sale. So don't forget to come back every day and check out the sale. So I'm going to take one of the stencils. I think I'm going to do the Joy, oh joy, with the little trees. Now this is the gel art ink, so I could be doing the same thing on wood. I could be doing the same thing on a card, which is paper, and almost any other surface. So I'm going to make sure, since it is on fabric that is very, very secure, I'm going to just take a little spreader that I had cut in a couple of pieces. I think I'm going to use the grass is always greener. I am going to do this in one color. And again, this is fabric. This is gel art ink, which you can use on a lot of different, let me get a little smaller one, a lot of different surfaces. I like using it on the material surfaces. You can make your own tea towels. You can make your own pouches, totes, t-shirts, sweatshirts. This would look really cute on a sweatshirt. So what I'm going to do is I'm just holding it down and I'm spreading it through. I do have that cardboard under there so it doesn't seep through the other side of the pouch. Because it is an ink, I don't want it to go through the other side. So I like to use the less is more technique, less product. If I need to get more, I go back and get it. Now, again, this is the gel art ink, and it comes in a lot of colors. Just pick out what color you want and your stencil for your project, and you're good to go. Take a little bit more and add it to the stencil. I'm going to close these up. Now remember, these are water-based products. Always keep your tubes and your containers closed. I do have a water bath alongside of me, so I am going to put my stencil and my spreader in there. So isn't that cute? Simple and easy. Now that is fabric. So what I would do is I would go back and I would get a clean cloth, preferably nothing with a pattern on it. And I would, when this is dry, 4 to 5 hours, I like to really let it set overnight. I would take a clean cloth, sit it on top of that, and go over it with an iron for a few minutes. And that would heat set it, so if I needed to wash this pouch or indeed wash this tea towel, it would be permanent. So gel art ink, remember, is permanent. Now, chalk art. Chalk art is not permanent. One of my favorite things to do with chalk art is put it on mirrors. So you could put the snowflake patterns we have on mirrors and then wash it off after the holiday's over. Or any sentiment. If you want to surprise your husband, maybe on his side of the bathroom, put something on the mirror in a stencil with the chalk art, and you can put it there, and then later on, or in a few days, or in a few months, you could remove it. So that's my favorite thing, is to use it on glass and mirror. Now, again, with the holidays, you could put snowflakes on the mirror, you can put sayings on the mirror, and as well as your windows. So that's really fun. You can also use chalk art on chalkboard so that you can go ahead and remove it. So I'm just going to take a stencil real quick and a chalkboard surface that I have. This says, "Have yourself a merry little Christmas." So I'm going to remove it from its backing. And again, if you're new to a Maker Studio stencils, these are tri-mesh stencils, reusable and adhesive. So if you put these down on a surface and you don't like where it's at, you could pick it up and remove it and put it where you want it to go until you position it where you're happy with it. So now I'm just going to take the, I reckon, which is a little bit of an off-white, chalk art paste, and use it on this chalkboard. Again, same process. Get yourself a little spreader or a squeegee. Put a little bit on the spreader, and again, spread through the whole stencil. Now, on a chalkboard surface like this, it would be removable. So let me get a little bit more. So again, chalk art removable, mirrors, glass, chalkboards, anything that you wanted it to be temporary, so you can change out maybe the seasonal stencil to an everyday stencil, and then change it back to a holiday stencil during the holidays. So again, just quick and easy. I just wanted to show you. Let me make sure I covered the whole thing. And this is just a off-white color, just to show you how it's going to work. So again, it transferred to the chalkboard. I'm going to put this in some water. Again, if you've watched me for a long time or watched Amy for the long time, we always put them in a water bath while we're on a live, but you would go run them underwater and get all the product out of them so that you can keep them for a long time and keep using them. So see how that is on there? Now here is the magic of chalk art. You could take a towel, like a paper towel, and just wet it. And after that's dried and you wanted to change it up, you would just take a wet cloth and you would erase the whole thing, and it's going to come off. So again, chalk art is not permanent. So you would do the same thing if you did it on your mirrors, if you did it on your window, and then you would be able to use this all over again. Now, chalk art can be, let me just close up my containers. Again, they are water-based, so we want to keep them closed. So if you wanted to make chalk art permanent, what you would do is you would take a surface. I'm going to just take this little wooden piece to show you. You would take a stencil, and this one says, "Wishing you a jolly holiday." So I'm just going to put that onto this wooden surface, which is just a wooden round. And then I'm going to take the metallic gold chalk art with a little spreader again. I'm going to take a little bit of it and put it on the stencil and wipe it right through. And of course you can use whatever colors you want. Same as the gel art ink. We have so many different colors to choose from depending on what you are doing, whether it's holidays, whether it's just for your decor piece, whether it's for somebody else. You pick the color you want to go with the stencil that you're using. Okay, so now this is chalk art. And remember how I said chalk art is not permanent, because you would put it on a chalkboard, you would put it on glass, and you would put it on a mirror. You could also, as you will see, put it on wood. Now, can you see that? So typically chalk art, if you were to keep this on here and manipulate it, it would, you touch it, it will probably wear off. So if you did not want chalk art to wear off, what you would do is let it dry, and then you'd either put a matte sealer, or I like to use the antiquing wax over this when it's completely dry to seal your chalk art into a project. So again, chalk art is not permanent, but if you wanted it to be permanent, say on a project like with wood, you would seal it. Again, with a matte sealer, or you would go over it with some antiquing wax and buff it when it's completely dry. So you could use it on wood, but it would have to be sealed. So again, gel art ink can go on fabric, it could go on paper, it can go on wood, it can go on almost any surface. Chalk art can be on a couple of different surfaces, but it's not permanent. So like if you were to use it on fabric, I wouldn't suggest that because it would rub off. So again, it would be on mirrors that you wanted to remove the stencil, glass that you wanted to wash it off on, or even a chalkboard. Now, again, like I said, you can put it on wood, but make sure you seal it. So I hope this gives you a lot of information on how to use chalk art and gel art ink. So go up in the comments, up above, or up in the description, you're going to find a link. Go see all the fabulous colors we have in both of them. And then determine when you're doing a project, whether you want it to be permanent or whether you want it to be removable, and then you could decide which product you want to use. So remember, the chalk art and the gel art ink is 20% off today. So we're in the middle of our 4 days of Black Friday. So don't forget to stop back by every day and check out what sale we're offering. So thank you guys for joining us over here at A Maker's Studio, and have a great day. Thanks, guys.